Hello, welcome back to Average Gamer Plays Factorio. Now, it's been a couple of days since I last played, so let's try and work out where I'm up to. Oh yes, right, so what I did a little bit off camera. I brought in a train bringing in plastic. So if you have a look at the map, we now have this new train line, and it just goes forwards and backwards between the coal liquefaction plant here making the plastic, loads it all onto the train, and then that brings it back over to the oil processing plant over here at my main base, unloading it. Now, I still need to tweak the levels on here because I've overdone the rocket fuel. Yeah, I don't need anywhere near as much as that. Let's just have a look at 6 of those are producing 71. Well, yeah, it may be when everything was running 175. Okay, well maybe when everything is running absolutely full tilt, we're launching rockets all the time. But the problem I have now is because I'm using all my light oil to make solid fuel for the rocket, solid fuel to go into the rocket fuel, I've not got enough. I'm not converting the light oil into petroleum, so I've not got anywhere near as much petroleum coming out of all this as I used to have. And in fact, I'll turn off these plastic batteries here completely, because that's still coming in from there. Don't want that. Take that out. So this should just drain out completely. Where's it coming from? Because there's still a line coming in from here. Where's that coming from? Right, that is coming down from there. It shouldn't go this direction. And it shouldn't go that way either. It's going to come down from here into there and just be used for the sulfuric acid. I need to put that line back in there. That line of petroleum, yeah, that can come out of there. I'm going to take off, yeah, all these have now run out. Input there from the right, input there from the right, so that should use this up as it so it may be now that I'm actually not using any coal whatsoever at this end of the factory. Alright, so we're now making lots and lots of sulphur. We're making... We've got one line of plastic coming in, and it is going all the way up to the top, where we're not making as many low density structures as we'd like, because we don't have as much steel coming in as we need. So let's come down here and have a look at the levels of steel we're producing, and it looks like everything there is sort of working. You know, we've got full-ish lines coming in. Nothing here is flashing to say it's ingredient shortage or anything like that, so it could just be that we just haven't got enough steel smelting going on here. 8 beacon steel smelting array. Didn't like that, did it? Go away. Put it in the wrong place. Fully saturated. Let's see if we've now got more steel coming up to the top, and we're making a few more. See, it's all... So we've got the low density structures here being used for the yellow science. And then we've got more coming in for that. So it looks like we still need more steel coming in, which means I think we're going to need another iron mine feeding this, and we might end up having I might take up these 12 beaconed builds because they're taking up a lot of space, and replace them with 2 or 3 or maybe even 3 or 4 8 beacon builds. So I might have a second train coming in. I was going to use this train station here for copper. That's what I originally built it for. But I might have one train coming in just feeding the smelting for iron plates, and another station coming in with 4 lines just feeding the smelting for steel. Yeah, that's got plenty of steel. It's now running short on copper, ironically. But copper is running. Yes, I might just need to... I downgraded a lot of the belts. When I was running out of blue belts, I downgraded a lot. So if I bring that in there, So if I put a splitter on there, this secondary line here will feed through and just make sure that these at the end are going to have enough. But even then, now we're running out of steel. Not got as much copper coming in on the line. Why have we not? Yeah, it could just be that the could just be that there's not enough copper coming in anyway. Yeah, these aren't full belts. Right. So I need... Now, I only built this up just so that it would do a little bit more research and that the oil production would carry on and that we would be end up making, you know, let's make that a full set of belts in there, because when I'm building my other factory, I'm going to need as many blue belts as I can, so I might as well have them all in stock. Yeah, there's no steel plate. Now everything here is starting to look a little bit sparse, isn't it? Look at that. Don't like that at all. I mean, these smelt faster, and I'm also getting productivity bonuses on it. Productivity plus 20%. Right, now I do have... So yes, the question is, do I want to make sure that this is running as efficiently as possible, or do I just want to make sure that it is just running? Because the whole point of this was just to be able to do a bit more research and keep the oil production going, so we've got the lube to make all the belts, so that we, you know, that the mall keeps running, so that we can expand the rest of the factory in the mega base. Now we can, another trick we can do to get the stuff out of here faster is to have some of the belts going in the other direction. And then we're going to have basically effectively a 1, 2, 3, 4, 7 to 4 balancer. I don't think that 7 to 4 balancer is actually very good. I think it's uneven. Because it tends to draw from one side of the line, it tends to favour one side of the line to the other, so you've got to try and feed the ores onto the line that gets used up first. Even now you can see that the top line of each belt is moving faster than the bottom line, so if you can try and keep the top line as full as possible, and then maybe setups for mining. Some of these were missing some speed modules. There may be setups for mining where it will actually try and feed the belt evenly from the miners in different locations. At the moment, this just sort of, once one side gets full, then the miner backs up, whereas there's still a little bit of capacity on the other side of the belt. That's mining productivity 6 finished, so we're now starting to get even more out of here now. Productivity 60% it says there, so there's even more ores now coming out onto the belts. So let's have a look and see what it's done to the belts. Well, there's still quite a lot of gaps on there because, I mean, everything up here is as full as it can be. So, now hang on, look, the rocket fuel is also looking quite sparse now. So all that rocket fuel that we'd made has been used up. And we've got plenty of solid fuel here, and it's the light oil that we're running short of. Again, it's petroleum that we're not burning off. Now that may be because, yeah, we've still got plenty of plastic coming in there. See, petroleum, select fluid, petroleum gas usage. Right, so it's used to make plastic bars, sulfur, well that's all backed up. Petroleum is used to fill a barrel, and it's used to make solid fuel. So the only thing we can really use it for is solid fuel. Now, the other thing is, do I just want to set up a little set of steam factories, steam engines, just to burn off the excess solid fuel? Just so that I can make more, so that the light oil keeps working. Is that just, hang on a minute, is that not getting any? Because I cut that off here when I wasn't making the plastic. Right, yeah. That is pretty full, right, okay. I mean, not that there's much being used over here. That going down there powering the trains, but yeah, I think I need to keep this running and making solid fuel. I think I might keep this row of solid fuel just for the rocket fuels, and then this row of solid fuel down here I'll just burn off in the I'll set up a couple of steam engines and just burn off the excess. because it's not using any during the day. Okay. Right, the other option is that I have two separate electric networks. So I'll have that one. If I cut off that, that needs 10.8 megawatts. This is now sprung into action. So I've got in this little, let's just double check that it is actually a separate network. Right, 97. Need 240 megawatts. Where does it say we need? Right, it says these are only getting so many megawatts. Yeah, I might have to come back to this and have a look at everything. So that everything there is leaping into action now that I've linked it back into the main thing, and then all these are right. So ultimately those 5 solid fuel plants don't make enough solid fuel to power this whole area. It might just be a case of yeah, I need to sort of make sure that they power something that doesn't really matter if it goes off. Everything is full. We're not making any rocket fuel because we're not getting any light oil. We're not getting any light oil because we're not burning up the petroleum, and we're not burning up the petroleum because we're not making any solid fuel. So everything is in. Right, I think we do need to have we need to have more machines making plastic, and we need to make sure that this plastic is being used before the plastic coming in off the train. Right, so that is now a solid line, because that makes sure that we feed in from both the left and the right. So we're now using up all of the plastic that we're producing here, and this is now using up a lot of the petroleum. This line coming in from the train feeds in and is just basically providing surplus. So yeah, by the time we've got up here, we've got a solid belt of plastic. And everything that needs to draw from it, I mean, it might be a better option to have, you know, 2 lines of plastic on the bus, but I didn't leave myself enough space for that. Now this is all backed up. This is because I think we were running out of rocket fuel. That has now launched 16. Plenty of low density structures. We've got the rocket fuel coming back in now. Okay, we're nearly halfway through mining prod 7. All this oil production is now working. We're still using some steam overnight, which will use up some more of the solid fuel. I'll take that out. I don't think I actually needed that in there. As soon as one train leaves, another one is lined up. Where's the third one? Is that actually... Are we now using the iron here faster than we're mining it? I think I might have to, yeah, wander down to the iron mine. If it means I have to upgrade it again to blue belts, let's just double check and see what it is using. Right, these are all blue belts. That is right, so those aren't full, but those are. Right, now it seems to me that that's the 7 to 4. Yeah, that 7 to 4 balancer doesn't work very well at all. It's uneven. Now, I think we've still got plenty enough mining drills on there. purple science. We're not making as much of that as we should be doing. Right, so the outputs will have, yeah, we can change the output. Let's just cut that off temporarily. Right, so this is going to be a blue belt coming in. And then we're going to have a red belt going down, up, down, up. No. I'm going to have to take these machines up and spread them out a little bit more, aren't I? That's going to have to be down, up, down, up, down. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Blue belts are going to have to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 6. So then we're going to have one machine. Doesn't really matter whether they're so then that can be basically a full blue belt. It can go across there like that. Item short, yeah, so it's still waiting for rails to come in. So, right, so now that that is like a blue belt, of rails, we're in a situation where we're not putting them on the belt fast enough at this end. Because this machine wasn't designed to be feeding all of that, so I think I might need a second rails machine down here. Yeah. I'll set up a second thing making rails. This steel is now looking quite sparse again. Now, that should be producing 351, which is more than we should have. So I might take that one off. Those should be producing 300, which is what we want, 300 signs per minute. Just let that produce a few more until it, yeah. Right, so these are all working, they're just not working 100% of the time. So that's produced 32, 29, 42, 64 and 3,500 because that was the original one that I had in place anyway. But it certainly looks like we're getting more purple science coming out now than we were. It looks like the labs are working a little bit more frequently, a bit more uniformly. The last batch of space science is just about to run out. It was sort of underneath this roboport at the moment. There it goes. Let's have a closer look at... Yep, another rocket being launched, so we'll have some more space science coming in, and everything is ticking along with 15% the way through minor prod 8. Alright, I'm quite happy that this is working reasonably well. I might still put another, because we still need to produce loads and loads of rails for the octagon side of the base, so I will definitely have another machine over here, another setup making rails. So some of these labs are now running out, so yeah, I know it's a space science that they're waiting for it to come through on the line. Okay, 17% on the research. A few gaps on the belts over there, but that's on the bus. You know, a few gaps over here. Bricks, we're now not producing fast enough. So it looks like the stone is being used. Yeah, I'll increase the stone line. I might still tweak something here on this plastic. I might have another... let's try this. Split that on there. Then split it back onto there higher up. Will that ensure that this line stays full and doesn't get backed up too much, so we're still able to feed in from this lot down here? So we're still waiting for petroleum, so that's okay. So it means we're actually using everything that we're producing. Nothing's getting backed up. I mean, there's 10k of lubricant in there, which I think is what the pump is set to. When it's set to 10k, then pump it out onto the line. That is empty. That is empty. So, and the light oil is empty. So we're using everything that we're producing. That's good. Okay, I've been playing for over 3 hours, so I'm going to have to edit an awful lot of this out. But yeah, I think this main base is nicely balanced, or it's certainly getting a lot more nicely balanced. We're still short on purple science, and I think that is because we're short on rails. So I'll tweak that a little bit. We can still do with more steel coming in. Where's my purple science? It's down here, isn't it? Now we've got rails, so we're now running short on furnaces because we're short on steel. Okay, yeah, we need to bump up the steel. And then we'll try and keep everything running in an even and balanced way. But I mean, we're still doing the productivity research, and things are still chugging along, which is good enough. I think we're manufacturing enough belts and everything else. You know, the mall is still working well enough to expand the mega base. I'll put in another set of rail manufacturing so that we've got plenty of rails, both for the purple science and for the mega base production. And yeah, because I'm going to need, I think, eventually a lot of railway lines coming out to these ore patches. There's going to be lots and lots of rails lines sort of feeding everything into here. But yeah, definitely making progress. Tidying things up, fixing some, you know, supply and demand issues. I think I will also have, you know, this is another iron line coming in, so I'll have plenty of iron for the plates and plenty of iron for the steel. It might end up that we need more iron for steel than we were using for plates. You never know. But we'll get there. We'll get there. I mean, there's more. I mean, there's some more iron down there. There's some iron up there, 13 million. There's a big patch up there, 55 million. I can start mining that because I'm not going to build this solar panel farm sort of up too much more. I'll carry on building it out in this, you know, westwards direction. And then we've got some largish or larger iron patches and whatever that we can start mining to feed this base. I mean, there's still, you know, 33 there and 35 there, so it might well be that I just put I rearranged this iron mine again and just put more stations on it. But yeah, it's not just how big the ore patch is. It's how much ore is in the patch. It's how big the patch is and how many miners you can put on it and how fast you can get the iron out of it. So it's probably better to have, you know, don't just go for the biggest patches you can find. Just have 2 or 3 mines going on smaller patches and just lots more trains bringing everything in. So that's what we'll do. But yeah, it's all working well at the moment. At least I think it is anyway. You know, I can probably tidy that up a little bit instead of having the copper coming down here just to come back up again, but you know, not the end of the world, is it? We're doing okay. That's the upshot of all this. We're doing okay. And for now, it's time for me to say, see you next time.